Hello, lovelies. Hello, family. I'm back. This is Kimberly Purpoz, and welcome to my channel. Um, Today I want to do something a little different. But before I start, I want to share this necklace. It's coming soon, like crystal quartz necklace with the feathers. It's coming soon to the Purpose Healing Arts store, which will be online. And I will also try to remember to put my GoFundMe page and also Patreon page. I've been forgetting to put the links to those pages up on my blogs, my video blogs, but I'll try to make sure I remember to put the link. But in this video, I wanted to talk about frequencies again. Word frequencies, music frequencies, and what we project into the universe. As American Aborigines, I think part of the reason, we have lost touch to who we are as a people is because, like I said, we got accustomed to being indoctrinated and listening to the Western civilized world as to how to perceive and the world, and also accepting Christianity as a religion. It sort of kept us from understanding the meaning of words. I think too, a lot of things that we do are as a as a group of people that has been, I guess, conquered, and through colonization, we had to, back hundreds and thousands of years. No, I wouldn't say 100,000 years, but hundreds of years ago, we had to learn their customs, their way, their culture. And when we did so, we lost track of a lot of the ancient way of thinking in society as a whole. Like, what I mean by words, I mean frequencies. When I talk about frequencies, is what you speak into the universe. Because if you study the law, I forgot what it was called. Maybe it'll come to me. Can't think of the name of it, but it's the law. I guess the laws of nature. I guess that's the best way to explain it. What you speak out in the universe is what you receive. And we have more power in ourselves to bring more positive flow of energy to ourselves when we speak positive energy. And when it's not just through words, it's also through music as well. And I saw this interesting article, and I also saw a scholarly journal article as well, because I did another video about a scientist, a Japanese scientist named Masaru Emoto. I believe I pronounced his name right. Dr. Masaru Emoto. He passed away, I believe, in 2015. And he's the one who studied how words and frequencies can affect the crystals in water, the water makeup. And when you think about it, our body is 70% made of water. And when we speak certain words and things into the universe, it affects us, deeply as a whole. And that's why I said I don't care for the human labeling system. I call it the human labeling system, the racial system that, I see it as just a label. I believe that it's intended to be an affirmation that you impose upon yourself, that they imposed upon us. We didn't create this labeling system. I'm pretty sure that the indigenous people, prior to the conquering of Caucasians, great Caucasians, Europeans coming into the Americas, they were not labeling themselves as black. That's a term that Caucasians came up through their English language, which I feel is an negative affirmation that they want you to speak into the universe, which taps into frequencies. And when you look into the English dictionary and the origins of black, it has a negative connotation to it. I did a video on that as well. You may want to check out the videos on the labeling system. I describe, the labeling system for American Aborigines when they use black and also white, and why we should not call Caucasians white, and also because what you're doing subconsciously, you're speaking positive flow of energy towards them every time you use white, because it has a lot of positive meaning for them, and it's like you're giving them praises, and to people who don't deserve those praises, especially when they do negative things to us. And I also believe too that everything's based on rituals, and we're already doing spellbinding. People don't realize that you are already doing that now and don't even realize it. When you celebrate these holidays, such as Columbus Day that just passed by, those who celebrate Columbus Day, you're glorifying and doing a ritual of the killings of the indigenous people here in Americas. And it's like you're bringing more of that energy of slaughter and being conquered into the universe onto the same very people who had suffered hundreds of thousands of years ago. And also, I was looking at too, not just the rituals, the spellbinding. That's why I believe this racial system is a form of spellbinding. It's a form of brainwashing and mind control into making you think of yourself in a certain way. If you give Caucasians a nice label such as white, which means pure and godlike in certain dictionaries, you bring positive blessings towards them. You speak negative energy for black, which is in the English dictionary. If y'all look it up, it means evil and conquered, being controlled, pretty much, and wicked and evil. All of that is in there, and you're speaking that into yourself. That's why I said one way to destroy great supremacy is to not speak it into the universe through the labeling system. You reduce the frequencies, and some people don't seem to understand what frequencies mean, and that is real. Some people think, oh, it's just made up. No, it's not. The indigenous people believed in that, and that's why I said we want to have more control of positive flow of energy coming towards us. It's good to understand how the English language, the Caucasians are using it against us. And also, just how it's used in a negative light. And also, trying to untap into our indigenous roots and heritage and understand the language that our indigenous people use instead. And that can help strengthen us as well. But I have evidence, you all, that this is real. And I found another scholarly journal article. I'm going to show you guys right over here. I'm not going to go over the whole thing. I'm going to just touch on it. But it's from the Journal of Scientific Exploration. And it's showing evidence that frequencies are sort of real. And they did a triple blind replication of it, from the original research from Dr. Emoto. And here he is right here. He's listed right here, the original doctor who did their first original study. And they did, this is like their third time, doing replicating the study again, same similar results, that it affects the water molecules. So, and the crystals. And that's why it's important to understand the music and how we taught that, understanding the hertz level. I was looking at Young Pharaoh's channel. He talks about the hertz levels of the range that you use. The music can greatly affect a person's chakras and alignment in the body, and your pineal gland, and getting more positive flow of energy from the universe, and when you use negative levels, it can keep you from connecting to being open to positive flow of energy. But I'm going to go back over here. This is a short abbreviated if I can get here. I have to edit that out. Sorry. Back over here. And it says here, 332 hertz water. The creator is you. Masaru Emoto's experiment. This is showing the experiment right here, of what was pretty much done. This one particular experiment is done on music and how it affects water. And I believe this is this particular article comes from, I believe, a particular artist, but he had a great article over here explaining, which I thought was interesting. It says, now you're ready for reading this unbelievable history. Masaru Emoto, born in 1943 through 2014, okay, he died in 2014, was a Japanese researcher who dedicated his life to the language of water. What he discovered is something very important. The water has a memory and is able to store information. The most engaging aspects of the discovery is that water reacts differently according to the information it receives, showing through crystals forms that can be more or less harmonious. So if water is influenced by positive information, for example, thank you, it will show its crystals in homogeneous and harmonious forms. On the contrary, the water influenced by negative information, for example, I hate you, will show crystals that's uneven and amorphous forms. And here are the pictures, you guys. See how beautiful the crystal? These are words that we speak into the universe. Love. You see how beautiful the crystal is? Thank you. I hate you. And you see how damaging it is to the crystals when you say negative things and negative energy. It forms negativity. And you can actually see how it affects water. Imagine how it's affecting yourself. As a human being, being made up of water ourselves, so it's affecting us in different ways. It says, if this information is not upsetting you in this moment, let me remind you that you are made of water. For more than 70% of water you have in your body behaves exactly as above mentioned. But also people around you are made of water. But this theory, you can well understand how your words, you see that? Your thoughts and your emotions are influenced and literally change the person or the biological being to whom they are addressed, animals and food. See, that's why it's important. That's why we should understand how the media affects, how we think. If you say negative things about a certain group of people all the time, you're speaking the negativity into the universe. And that's why it's important that we have our own media and platform so we can speak positive flow of energy towards ourselves and see things from a different perspective besides the brainwashing machine, which I call the TV, the brainwashing machine. The TV that you constantly see in the mainstream media. You see the negative words and everything that's being spoken into the universe. And also with the books, constantly writing negative things about a certain group of people. But while you speak only positive things for another group of people. So you see all of that. And it says here, I invite you to continue to reading this article to better understand what I have just written to get to final revelation. In the article, I wrote 432 hertz, the tuning that resonates with life. I explained that everything is energy because everything is vibrating. Also, the information itself is vibrating since it's energy in motion. And see, and information can be told, written, like I said, told, written, the books that you read, played, and sing and play like in movies, what's on TV, sing like in music, or even thoughts or felt as an emotion. Yes, you read rightly. Our thoughts and emotions that produces energy that is more powerful than what we commonly think. And so this is what And they went on and showed the more pictures right here that was done in the experiment. And they used the music right here and words and what you see. It says here, Mozart's symphony. Imagine John Lennon. You see all this? Love. And then it says, Furore before prayer. Ooh, that's terrible. See, that's when a person is feeling sad right here. And peace right here. Thank you. I will kill you. You see how damaging that is to the water molecules? And then it says furore after prayer. See, after prayer, it tells you how meditation and prayer can help heal you as well, and how it's important to speak positive things into the universe for yourself. And so this experiment sort of pretty much tells you, what's going on with molecules and gives you somewhat of an idea of what's going on in the human body, because our body is made up of 70% water. So if we made up of most of water, this is what our body feels, and you can actually feel it. And that's probably why whenever a person's around negative situations, you feel have illnesses, you emotionally distraught. It affects your mind, it affects your body, it affects your spirit and how you feel. And so that's why it's important to understand all of this. It says here, and then they go over how the experiment was done. Now, I'm going to put a link to this video, to this article, so y'all can see for yourself what the experiment is and what you can do you can do your own experiment and see how it works, or get an idea of how they did the experiment. They did it with music and words, which I find pretty amazing. And they did show the results at the bottom. But anyway, this is just an example of Emoto's, Dr. Emoto's experiment that he had done. If y'all want to check that out, I'm going to put a link. And I'm going over to the actual scholarly journal article. And like I said, this is from the Journal Scientific Exploration. And this article was fortunately done before Dr. Emoto passed away. It was published in 2008. It says here, effects of distant intention on water crystals formation, a triple blind replication. Here it is. And this gives you the actual research. It's not the original, but it's like a third time being replicated and showing that it's actually true that words and frequencies and music and all that all definitely impacts water molecules and pretty much affects us as a whole in theory. But it says here, it's a strong chance there is, and I believe it does. Abstract. Experiment tested in hypothesis and water exposed to distant intentions affected by the anesthetic rating of ice crystals formed from the water. Over 3 days, 1,900 people in Austria and Germany focused on intentions towards water samples located inside the electromagnetic shield room in California. Water samples located near the targeted water but unknown to the people providing intentions act as proximal controls. Other samples located outside the shield room act as a distant control. Ice drops formed from the samples of water in different treatment conditions were photographed by a technician. Each imagined was assessed for anesthetic beauty by over 2,500 independent judges, and the results data were analyzed, all by individuals blind with respect to the underlying treatment conditions. Results suggested that crystals in images in the intentionally treated conditions were rated as anesthetically more beautiful than proximal control crystals. And says this outcome replicates the results of the earlier pilot tests. See, And it says here, intentions, water, and consciousness. And it's showing that there's something to this, to words, frequencies, music. And that's why it's important we know, we be careful of the music that we listen to, understand what kilohertz or whatever that the music is being played. Make sure it's in the right level. Make sure it's positive words that you're speaking into the universe. These all have an effect on how we feel. And that's why I'm saying I think the labeling system is totally linked to this. And I also believe that we just, don't follow the labeling system, which is crazy to me. I think it's silly that people are clumped into a particular category based on skin tone and physical attributes. And the whole point of it is to keep gray supremacy alive and to keep the original group of humanity at a lower slunken place, being conquered and not being having access to the actual resources and land rights that is there, that should be theirs. But anyway, I can go on and on. I want to get off the subject. I went on here, and then this is the introduction pretty much. And it goes, explains in more detail of what this is. I'll probably read this first paragraph. It says, can one person's intention affect another person's health from a distance? A growing number of clinical studies have investigated this question. Some of them provide positive evidence, others do not. To help study this question under more strenuous laboratory controls, the investigators has also explored whether the person's intention can affect another person's nervous system from a distance. From those studies, the evidence is clear. From a meta-analytic perspective, the original question can be answered from a tentative yes. Tentative because while the evidence is statistically significant and repeatable, the observed effects are small in magnitude, non-trivial to replicate, and theoretical explanation remains speculative. So they say it's somewhat speculative because it wasn't 100%. But it says because of the complexities associated with the studying of human health and physiological responses, still other investigators have aimed towards simplification by asking whether intentions affect properties of water. This remains relevant to the question about health because the human body consists of 70 to 90% water. Ooh, even higher, y'all, depending on age. Evidence from those studies supports the hypothesis that intention affects properties of water, but like many other empirical studies of domain, most of the experiment reports have appeared in specialty journals and have gone unnoticed by most medical researchers. I'm not surprised. One exception of the elevated question, intentions of water from the obscurity of infamous of the claim that water exposes or treated by a positive intention results in frozen water crystals that are anesthetically pleasing and similar crystals from untreated water. Okay. In an earlier pilot experiment, we tested this claim under double-blind conditions and found evidence in favor of intentional hypothesis. The present study was a replication attempt conducted under triple-blind conditions. Let's go. Yeah. All right. It says that they show some evidence that that the study is accurate, and it's still up in the air, you guys. But if y'all want to read this study, please follow the link. I'm going to provide it for you all. And I would like to hear what you all think. Do you think that do you believe that frequencies are real? Do you think it affects people? I think right now this type of research on human consciousness is at its infancy stages, and that there's still room for growth. But I do believe that scientists and researchers are on the right track, and I do believe that there is something to how you speak frequencies into the universe and how you feel, and whether or not it makes a difference on whether or not you how you perceive yourself and how you feel about yourself. That's why it's important to speak, positive affirmations to yourself. And I think one way for us as Indigenous people is to not accept the labeling system and instead replace it with positive words that is more reflective and conducive to us and bringing positive flow of energy to us as a group of people. But please like this video and thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. And till next time, love and peace, family. Bye-bye.